Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, we have jumped into the wayback machine and we're going way back. By the way, let me know if my mic sounds okay, if I still sound like the Tin Man, or if I've actually solved the problem. That would be great to know. If I sound tinny, type 5. If I sound good, type 22. We are in the midst of a perusal through rock and roll history, dear listener. Wave 1, Wave 2, all that jazz. Big homie Revo has shut down an entire week for himself. And here we go. The next song is Little Anthony and the Imperials-Tears
Tears on my pillow. There's an actual office chair in there, not that wooden one. I mean, you can sit in that one if you want, but that's okay.
I love how you go out of your way to make this man as comfortable as possible. You've never done anything like that for me.
Really? Who is getting you food at 4:30 in the morning? Oh, that's right. That was me. The lyrics are written by African-American named Sylvester Bradford, and the music is written by Al Lewis. It was really hit number 4 on the charts. This is a performance on American Bandstand, which was hosted by Dick Clark on ABC and became the main TV show that people could listen to the latest pop and rock songs. The show had a live teenage audience, and the show had a family-friendly appearance that made the music acceptable for parents. The show itself had an all-white audience, but his performers were of both races. In the South, he would host racially integrated shows that received threats from the KKK.
Holy
wow.
Shit.
Okay, so Little Anthony and the Imperials, Tears on My Pillow.
Little Anthony and the Imperials.
So this artist was blind.
Blind.
Well, also black. But what I meant to say was blind.
Right, let's check it out. Tears on My Pillow. What the
You know
hell?
what it is? Yeah. that's a pretty hard way to get into it all. It's teardrops artificially produced. Tears on my pillow. Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Holy shit. What year was this record?
Don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long ago. You broke my heart in two. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart caused by you. If we could start anew, Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart caused by you. Love is not a gadget, love is not a toy. When you find the one you love, she'll fill your heart with joy. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and tempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart caused by you.
Thank you, man, very much. Little Anthony and the Imperials. Man has kind of a very, very interesting vocal styling. There's without a doubt.
Oh!
That
No,
wasn't familiar at all to me. Was it familiar to you?
not at all, but I could definitely see why the KKK would be protesting that.
Wait.
The KKK was protesting Dick Clark for having all them Negroes
Yeah.
on his,
Yeah, on his show, yeah.
I mean, all that screaming, those were all white girls.
It can't be helped.
There's nothing. Of which I'm a beneficiary.
Oh, man. Oh.
You hear that old Jimbo? It can't be helped.
Can't be helped.
Can't be helped.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't the guy singing. It was the writer of the
guy
song.
who wrote the song.
Yeah.
Was blind. Okay, so lyrically, you don't remember me, but I
That's kind of
remember
a
you.
sad line. Imagine like that happening. I'm sure that people have felt that way, but like that's kind of sad. Like you remember somebody, but you don't even feel like that they even really remember you. But they really broke your heart.
Well, everything seems so critical when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like teenagers. I have a very, my first real, like, yo, I'm serious. My mom was like, what do you know? You know, she's like, what do you know about it? You're a kid. What do you mean?
Nobody did that to me.
But I was dead ass serious.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that's
like my little brother. He met as they were like 16. And I remember he was like, yo, I'm serious. And I was like,
no, I think 16 love.
You were 14. Oh, they were 14.
14?
Yeah, the thing is, my little brother, though, he's always like, we had this family that like my mom was friends with. He said he was going to marry their daughter. He's like, I'm going to marry Cece. We're going to have like 9 kids, all this type of shit. So my brother was always like the big lover boy type thing. My older brother was always into like love music. I was the one who was like, man, fuck that shit, man. Kids are all expensive and shit. I'm not going to be able to play baseball and football.
And look at you now. You have more kids than both of them
I have
put together.
all put together times 2, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Because Junior has 2, you got 2, it's 4, 8. So times 2 would be 8. We'll probably have another one after this one.
Well, if you count my miscarriage, which I do, then this is 8.
And we got to get a girl.
Yep.
So, like, everything seems so critical when you're a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
So it's weird because on the one hand, when my brother told me, oh, I love this girl, blah, 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 she's the one, blah, 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 he was like, they had been dating for like a year and a half. He was like 15, 16. I told him, I said, well, I'm not going to do what people did with me and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah. He ended up married and have a bunch of kids, a couple kids with her. So, like, it is possible for a teenager to really fall in love, especially, you know, back in the days, like in the 1500s where life expectancy was like 33 and shit. Like, you better find a girl when you're 15 years old.
Yeah.
So, But the other side of that is, though, is that because you lack so much experience, like you think that this relationship is the be all end all, and that you will never feel that way again about another person because you don't. This is the first time you felt that feeling.
Yeah.
So you think that it's final and you'll never feel that way again. So that's like the only thing that adults could have said to me when I was 16 was, "Yep, the way you feel is genuine, but that's not the only person you can feel that way with." Like, if somebody would have told me that instead of just saying, "Oh, you're a kid, what do you know about love?" then I would have paused a little bit.
Wait. Say that again? If they would have said what?
If they would have said, "Yep, you genuinely do love this girl, but she's not the only girl you're going to love in your life." If somebody would have said it that way, then I would have probably looked at it a little bit differently. But all the adults in my life were telling, "Oh, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. You don't feel that way, yada, yada, yada."
Yeah.
So then when you're a kid, you overcompensate to prove the adults wrong, and then all your feelings are all caught up. And so, like, I could see how one teenage kid would be like, yeah, that was fun, and I'm done. Like summer stuff. Like, for me, like, the summer was like you whatever, and it's fun in the summer, and you know, that's your girl in the summer, but then summer's over, you go to school. Like, that was it.
Uh-huh.
Like, that happened a lot. You know what I'm saying? Until I ran into, like, you know, like, oh, this girl's my, you know, steady. And I went, like, the complete opposite from the girls that I was with, you know, whatever. So, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, for me, when I was a teenager, my just giant question, which I've expressed before, was I kept asking people, like, is there one person? Because I felt like, look, if you're almost 40 years old, you should know the answer to this question. Is there one person for, like, does everybody have, like, that one person? Or is there multiple people for one person and you pick from the multiples? And I could not get I couldn't get a solid answer from everybody. Like, it just seemed very vague, and nobody was like, oh, there's one person. So one thing is, when you ask somebody that's married, is there one person for everybody, or is there multiples? And that person doesn't give you a solid answer. That tells you that they don't feel like they're with the one, right? Because if they married the one, they would say definitively, no, there's somebody.
Right.
Or they would say, for me, my experience is there's the one person for me. But nobody was saying that. And a lot of times people had, like, these romantic stories of, you know, some forbidden love in the past or something like that was never forgotten and always relived and stuff like that. And so that kind of told me, okay, there is the one person, but are you brave enough to marry that person when they come along? Or are you going to, you know, kind of run away from that? So I still wouldn't be able to answer that question for everybody. Being with you makes me say, oh, there's one person for me. But I don't know if that everybody gets that lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's like that for everybody. I do think that the way to find that one is the sort of Love is Blind sort of way, like, not to box the person, like, not to look for a certain style or type of person, but to look for, like, the connection of two souls. I think that that's important. Because I think a lot of times people get overlooked because maybe based on status or what they look like, or maybe their income or stuff like that. Like, but I always felt I was always influenced by stories of, like, poor and rich, or, you know, stuff like that, getting together, finding love outside of what was acceptable for their whatever. So that's interesting, because one would say, okay, well then did you find this because because it's outside of that? I don't know. I don't think so, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the vast majority of human history, love, particularly marriage, has been more about pragmatism than romanticism.
Right.
Right? It's like,
right.
Oh, these two kingdoms are at war. If my son marries your daughter, then we can piece it up. Or, hey, you've got X resources, my family has X resources, so my son and your daughter will be married.
You would have really had to train your kids for that. Like, imagine, well, you would. Think about this. Like, imagine putting the safety of your kingdoms in the hands of your kids if you didn't train them to work stuff out.
Yeah, but no, I agree. But in those contexts, especially, that was the conundrum, is that you didn't really have a way out because of that reason. It's not like you could divorce because of burnt toast, because you had two kingdoms at war with each other. So you were married. That was pretty much it. I mean, look, no-fault divorce is a pretty recent phenomenon in this country.
Wait, what?
No-fault divorce. It's a pretty recent phenomenon.
I heard forest.
Yeah, I'm talking like, I'm pretty sure Reagan.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Divorce wasn't as rampant, but like it's really interesting because I've done a lot of thinking of, because you see this in the Bible, right? Like Isaac, it was kind of pragmatic the way that he got married. Abraham's like, look, don't send I don't want my kid marrying any of these pagans. So they didn't even meet each other.
Right.
They didn't even know each other.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And they stayed with each other forever. If you look at the narrative, it doesn't look like they had some hot relationship where they truly loved each other. Whereas you have Jacob and Rachel, and that is kind of what we talk about. You know, it's like a me and you type. We have a Jacob type relation, Jacob Rachel type relationship, and those kinds of relationship where you love the person, you would do anything, you'd work 7 years, it feels like 7 days, that kind of thing. Those are valid relationships, but I think they're rare because Jacob and Rachel are the only people in the Bible that have that kind of relationship. The closest you could come would be Solomon and the Shulamite, but she was one of literally 999 other girls. So Jacob is there's only one time in the Bible where you have like love, they love each other, love at first sight, blah, 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 and then they go off and live happy. Well, there's hella problems, obviously.
Yeah, because even Jacob and Rachel, when I look at that story, if you fast forward that to she's deceiving him at the end of his life.
No, that's Isaac and Rebecca. Jacob and Rachel, there was
that wasn't that? There was none of that?
No.
Oh, I always confuse
Jacob and
the two.
Rachel, like, loved each other. They pretty much stayed like that till the end. I mean, they had problems like everybody else. But,
yeah.
But I think...
Okay. Wait, that was who?
Jacob and Rachel.
Oh, wait. No. Who was the one that deceived?
Isaac and Rebecca. So
his dad and his mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point is like that kind of like ideal romanticized relationship, there's like dozens and dozens of relationships examined in the Bible. There's only one time when you have that kind of thing. Yeah. Most of the other ones are more pragmatic and logical. And I think that that's very instructive because that tells me, okay, most of us are not going to end up in a Jacob-Rachel type relationship. You're going to end up in a. But see, I don't think that that's bad. Like most of our kids are going to end up in that kind of relationship, and I don't think that that's bad. You have to assume romanticism to say that that's sad. Like I think there's something really beautiful about two people saying, hey, let's partner with each other, let's make this work, and let's stay committed to each other for an entire lifetime. I think that's amazing as well.
Wait, you just said you don't think... Wait, so you think the majority, or possibly all of our kids, will land in relationships that are just more pragmatic?
Yeah, I doubt very highly that our kids are going to end up like me and you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sad. I'm not sad about that. No.
I could cry right now.
No, it's an extremely rare type of relationship that we have. So
I don't imagine that they would have something like what we have, but something.
Married. I would rather them stay married to one person for the rest of their life. I would not want them to have to go through what I went through to find you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want them. Yeah, me neither.
But that's one of the dangers that happens when you take this romantic understanding of relationship. I would much rather a pragmatic, practical relationship, not too high, not too low, because we have very, very, very high highs. Not too high, not too low, and
how would you describe the lows? That's...
They can build together.
They feel like crash and burn to me when they're low, but I don't know if that's because I'm so extreme.
I mean, you have a different perspective because I was in an extremely unique situation in my previous relationship. So I can never say that when we're not doing well that we're crashing and burning because nobody's threatening to murder me.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
So for me, like being on the other side of different kinds of relationships, I would much rather my kids have like a very
like a sort of vanilla.
Yeah, because
steady.
because again, that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Isaac and Rebecca, like they had their issues, but I mean, she stayed with him till he died. Like they were loyal to each other,
Yeah.
and to me, that's what's most important in relationships.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I feel like Zoe would be okay with some vanilla, but I feel like Sayla's gonna want some fight and fire. But I don't know if
You guys are pretty good at creating things to fight about. So if she wants that, I'm sure she'll engineer those situations. It just depends on the kind of dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
But to think that our kids are gonna end up like me and you, like that's very. They're more likely to win the lottery than for that to happen. So, like
I'll tell you.
That's how
like
I've been training the boys to adjust accordingly. Like I'm setting their expectations properly.
I think I need to make some adjustments in my training. Oh shoot! Oh my god. Okay, so like when I hear this song,
the girls are doomed. Where do you get the song?
This one's like not an 8.
Perkinos in the house. Yeah, see, Perkinos.
8 for me.
Like I would have the girls marry Perkinos. That'd be perfect.
How old is Perkinos?
I don't know.
Although you know what? Okay, sounds
5 more years.
No, he sounds
5 more years. It'd be fine.
He sounds like he's 50, but then you probably sound like you're 50 in typing. So maybe he's like your age.
He's like early 20s.
What?
So if he could wait
Perk,
for 5
how old
years,
are you? Are you really in your 20s?
Wait for 5 years. We could pawn off one of the girls. Solve the problem.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but
Be great spiritual direction.
I don't know. I think Perk is too smart. I don't think that they want that type of.
He'd have great spiritual direction. He's a very calm person.
Perk, how old are you? This is so weird.
On top of that, Perk would literally be in our family forever.
He's 25.
Exactly.
What?
Perk would be in our family forever. What do you give the song?
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
So there you are.
25.
I'll talk to you in 5 years.
Seriously, where did you go to school?
Girls will be like 22,
He's like
23.
you. He just likes taking information in. Holy shit. You sounded like you were like 57.
What do you give the song?
I already rated it an 8, and I've been sitting here waiting for your score.
8.75. 8.75. Very, very good song. And we made an arranged marriage here, dear listener. There you are.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
And now Perk is gonna be in our family for 4 generations. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go.